This is Nasty Neal.
This is Terrible Try.
And this is Without Your Head. Reviews here, and we just got back from Thor Ragnarok.
Thor Ragnarok. We got the coin.
We did.
We got Thor on one side. Got Thor on one side. The Hulk on the other side.
Hulk smash. So yeah, that was very cool.
Pretty badass.
Because we didn't pay to get that.
Yep.
But the guy was cool and gave us one.
Yeah, he was mad cool. So this one, kind of like,
pumped.
Kind of like Doctor Strange, kind of like Spider-Man. Totally geeked up. Saw the trailers.
Yeah.
Every time I saw a trailer, I was more excited than the last.
I was very excited. I thought this looked amazing. I thought it looked awesome. I like the guy who directs it.
Yep.
I like the Thor movies.
Yep, I've liked both so far.
I thought Hello looked awesome from the ads. So I was really pumped.
Yep, they kept that cool like Jack Kirby vibe. Like, you saw it throughout the trailers.
The one thing I didn't like was whenever I saw a still of Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
What in the hell is going on there? But maybe they'll make it
weird
work.
Glam rock kind of blue guy liner, blue nail polish.
Right.
Yeah, glittery blue makeup all over the joint.
Bizarre.
Yep.
So it starts off. We're not going to do a real in-depth review, no spoilers, but it starts off kind of like the preview before like the credits come out, kind of set the scene. And right away, there was something that bothered me. Was which that happens sometimes in recent movies is every time there's like a dramatic scene, they have to intercut some comedy like constantly.
Yep.
So you've got what's his name, Surtur
the Fire Giant.
Yep. Yeah. So he's given like this big speech setting up the movie.
Yeah,
Ragnarok, and like basically it's the end of days, the end of the world.
Yeah, and he's all intense, and then we found out why, because Surtur is Clancy Brown.
Yeah.
So you hear that nice, rich, deep voice, and you're like, "Oh, I like Surtur right from the get-go."
Right.
And he gives you the master plan, and he's kind of cool because Surtur's he's got that hang down, like just kind of beaten up look. You can tell he's been around for a while. He's not as powerful as he once was. Mm-hmm. He's still like a big giant, but he's not the size of a mountain like he's talking about.
But so every like 15, 20 seconds while he's giving this big speech about the end of the world and all that stuff, they have to cut right to Thor, who's hanging from the chains, and it's like, wait a minute, because he's like kind of slipped around. So like it's kind of funny, but right away I was like, that always kind of bothers me.
Yeah.
And it really set up for the whole movie, because the whole movie was like that. It had really relied heavy on the comedy.
Yep, that set the tempo.
Any type of drama with the comedy.
Yep. Yeah, and it kind of like every time the movie started to pick up, like just the over comedy would bring it back down.
Yeah, and it's
like everything, like you'd get this really big crescendo building up, and then like there'd be all these little wise ass comments, and somebody didn't know what like a microphone was. The thing with voice.
Yeah, like Drax was there the whole time.
Yeah, yep. Everybody was Drax for a while.
Yeah, it was just so much. And so, like, I can deal with some comedy in the movie. Obviously.
Some comedy's great. Yeah.
And the reason why you have comic relief is because there's other things that are dramatic and stuff. So, but when the whole movie is filled with comedy, the comic relief just is not needed.
Yeah.
And it seems kind of silly. The whole movie seemed very silly.
It did, and then
nothing seemed like it mattered, even though it should matter, because it was basically the end of days.
Yeah. Yep. Everything that like built up some importance, it would come crashing right down. So that everything was just kind of a throwaway joke almost. It was just kind of, well, I'm here to rescue you. Well, you're thinking we need rescue, but maybe we don't.
Yeah, everybody was a goof.
Yeah, yep. Except for Hela.
Hela wasn't, and she actually was a great character, well performed too. I thought.
Oh, Kate Blanchett's always great. It looked awesome.
Just like just right out of the comic. And
Yeah.
she did a great job, and it was written well.
Yeah, and it didn't fit in with anybody else in the movie.
I normally really like Loki in these movies.
Yep.
There's always really good stuff with him and his brother. Even though Loki's a bad guy, you feel bad. You feel for him, and you understand why.
You know where he's coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah, right from the first movie. You know.
This
you
one,
could
he was
see.
just a dick.
Yeah, he was like a little kid. He's just a whiny little kid.
Yeah, there was never like, hey, I understand why he's doing any of this.
Yep.
Or it was just like he's a goof. Everything. It was like a spoof of a Thor movie.
It was. And I loved the director when he made different comedy things.
Mm-hmm.
He should stick to
What We Do in
different
the Shadows.
comedy things. Yeah. Because this whole movie had that vibe of a spoof where you never really could suspend disbelief because there was always somebody wisecracking in the background.
Yeah, it was just so hard to get into. Like Thor, there's a little bit of that in some of the other ones, like when he first goes to Earth and like.
Oh yeah, he doesn't really
because he's
fit
the
in.
fish out of water and stuff. But that's the Thor you get in the whole movie of this.
Yep.
Just everything he does is he's the butt of all jokes.
Yeah, and he's just kind of an ass clown. He's like Sterling Archer in Asgard, you know?
Yeah,
like
I don't get it. You mentioned we were watching it like he was like Dark. What's his name in Champions Guardians of the Galaxy?
Oh yeah,
which it fits that because that's the vibe of those movies.
Star-Lord
and Star-Lord's character, but like Thor is Star-Lord in this movie. I don't get it.
Yeah, and it's kind of like in some of the Marvel movies they have these like little 2-minute shorts. And I don't know if you saw any of them. There's one where it must have came out like right during Captain America Civil War. Mm-hmm. Because the two characters that you don't see in Civil War are Thor and the Hulk.
Right.
And so, they're showing Thor and he's kind of like, he's got like an office job, he's got a roommate, like just being kind of a goofball. But that's a 2-minute funny short, and that's fine. You don't need to make a 2-hour movie with Thor being that same kind of goofy, hey, waka waka guy.
Because there are, like I said, the Hela character, there's like stuff about Odin.
The Odin stuff where you really want to, like, because not to give too much away, but there's a bit, his 2 sons. And he reveals, not giving much away because you find this out early, that Hela's his oldest child. Right. That's his daughter. And so, there's like kind of a touching moment with the 3 of them. And it's just kind of thrown away.
And I'm not saying the movie's got to be like The Godfather or something. No. You can have action and fun, and because all the Marvel movies do, but there's never like any time to really get emotionally invested in the movie.
No, it's true.
It's this bam comedy, very silly comedy. Some of the stuff wasn't even funny.
No, a lot of the stuff.
A couple of the lines are funny, but then like a lot of them aren't, which then just makes you just kind of
get annoyed. Yeah. And then some of the characters.
The Rock guy, I didn't hate his voice.
Oh, I hated the Rock guy. He was out of a completely different movie.
Yeah.
And like he just was a non-stop
He was like the
joke.
Hulk, but like
a nerdy Hulk.
And like a lesser Hulk, but
Yeah.
and he's the same kind of guy where he's just a big, strong, but he's kind of doofy and dumb.
And then Jeff Goldblum
Just awful.
was probably the worst character ever in a Marvel movie.
Yeah, I would agree. It was really like let's have Jeff Goldblum not act, but let's just have Jeff Goldblum like the caricature of Jeff, what people like, what you think of Jeff Goldblum.
Yep. He's got flip-flops on.
Yeah.
He's got the goofy blue makeup.
Yeah, he's not playing a character. It's like they just teleported Jeff Goldblum, and he's the leader of this planet now.
And he's like, hey, how you guys doing? I'm like the game show host, baby.
He's just a caricature of himself in this movie, and maybe some people find that humorous. I just found it very annoying.
Yeah.
Especially when he looked so goofball.
He looked goofy, act goofy, like all of his henchmen were a bunch of nitwits, like, I don't know. I really wanted to like this movie.
I did too. There was, when we were watching, right away, honestly, I was like,
Yeah, I had a
give me a
bad
bad
feeling.
vibe when there's so much of that where they gotta cut it into any type of dramatic moment with the comedy right away too.
Oh yeah.
And then so I was like, well, maybe it's just this beginning. It does look cool and everything. I'll let it go.
I did
so I'm
like
watching
that. It did have a great look.
And for a while, I kept wanting to like it, and then at some point, I just like, oh, I'm not gonna. This just isn't for me. And I was thinking, like, when we review this, me and Troy are gonna have a lot.
We're gonna have a fist fight.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot different view because Troy's a huge Marvel guy.
I got Thor on my shirt right now.
Yeah, but then he actually turned to me and he said exactly what I was thinking. He was just like, man, there's a lot of comedy in this, and I was like, yep.
Yep, and like, and we've talked about it before in all the Marvel movies, and that's what I think makes the Marvel Cinematic Universe so good. Is that there's a different vibe for each of the movies.
Yeah.
Like, you watch Iron Man, Tony Stark's got that rock star vibe.
Yeah, it's real. I think that really is like the epitome of like of a superhero movie.
Yep.
Of a fun superhero movie is the Iron Man movies.
Yep. And then into the Thor movies, up until this one, they had more of that adventurous, like, we're going to Asgard, it's a whole different place, and like
Sort of like
this,
Game of Thrones, but a little different. You know?
Yeah, like an otherworldly Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And then
you had Ant-Man, which was a straight-up comedy.
Yep, which is good and goofy. And then the Guardians of the Galaxy, they rode that line. There's cosmic
really
adventure,
like
and then there's like good comedy.
Yeah. It's more like a Star Wars, like, fun adventure film.
And then like the new Spider-Man, like it had that like still a good fun vibe, but a lot of teen angst, a lot of like it was more of like not as like cosmically entwined. As,
it's more real world kind of grounded. And then the Captain America stuff is like political drama and action. And then the stuff on Netflix is very gritty, and dark, much more adult.
And then Doctor Strange has that
it's mystical.
Like,
not horror, but like kind of sci-fi mystical
little bit,
kind of thing.
So
everyone, which is cool because it's all in the same world, but they all different, different take. But this was,
but they find a way to blend it all really well. Even until this,
even the music in this, I thought was
it had that bad
odd.
like 70s like.
Or 80s
vibe.
The 80s like
synth going on.
because like I know that's like works on Stranger Things, and it's really popular today because there's that throwback vibe, that throwback like kind of, it's really kind of a trend, I think.
But there was no reason for
but it doesn't fit in Thor.
Yep. And then a lot of things I think they just did for the sake of doing, like they kill off some characters that really didn't need to be done.
No, and
no payoff for it.
And I think if you have one big character that's killed off, it hits home a lot more than if you kind of randomly kill off like a bunch of characters.
Yeah, and these are like throwaway deaths.
Yeah, two of them
like,
are
hey, how you doing? Boom, boom, dead.
Yeah,
okay,
like they're not.
on.
Yeah, like they're nothing.
Thinking of, and the Scourge the Executioner. They nailed his look. His look was straight out of the comic book. And there's even a scene where he's got like the two M16s, and it's straight out of an old Walt Simonson Thor comic.
Yeah.
And it's great. He looked awesome. And whoever wrote like the character, the dialogue,
and it's just and his whole character arc would be like it should have been told over like 3 or 4 movies, because like he changes constantly in the whole movie. He's like a total goof.
Yeah.
At one point, like a nothing, and then like he's the right hand man all of a sudden.
Oh yeah, he's like the baddest dude on Asgard.
But then he's like acting like bizarre, like it's just his whole demeanor is very weird. And then then he's a coward, and then he's I don't want to get away.
And the way he talks, it's like this goofy. Should have been in like a Simon Pegg movie.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, blimey, what's going on here? Good to see you, mate.
I didn't get it.
Like nobody else on Asgard talks like that, but okay.
Yeah, I didn't get it. But But yeah, Hela is just excellent, I thought.
Yeah, she was, I think, for me anyway, she was the best part. And I like the stuff with the Hulk. So much so, I think that maybe this guy should have made a Hulk movie instead of a Thor movie.
It's weird, I have to say, because, you know, it's not much of a spoiler, but it is that he's been the Hulk for 2 years.
Yeah.
It's never explained why.
No, they don't. They don't.
Why is he never? Why
is he never pissed off all the time?
Yeah, which he isn't, because he's clearly enjoying himself. He's the Hulk.
That's one of those I call bullshit moments on. There's a few of them in this movie.
I thought there was going to be an explanation.
Yep.
Like they stuck something on him to keep him the Hulk.
Yeah, yep. But I gotta say, like, I think it was the best job with the Hulk, because he talks a lot more than the Hulk has in the other movies.
Yeah, he has the Hulk. He's not just the action scenes. He's got some.
Yeah.
And I thought the comedy stuff, honestly, the comedy stuff with the Hulk worked well.
Absolutely, yeah. Like, because you still feel that sympathy for him, because, you know, he's a genius trapped in this, like, you know, giant body. But, you know, when he's in the giant body, the mind isn't what it should be. And when he's talking with Thor, like, he's got that real childlike quality to him.
I think because there are some funny lines throughout the whole movie and funny scenes. They should have, like, edited so, like, let's cherry pick the stuff that is very funny, and then let's cut back throughout the rest of the movie, so it's not just all a bunch of silliness and wacky lines. And
yeah, somebody should have pulled it back, like, you know, hey, okay, we're at, like, the number 12 out of 10 on, like, the comedy in this movie. We want it to be about a 6, maybe a 5.
I think the comedy with anything with Loki and comedy was just pits.
Yeah, it was so obvious, like, all that jazz.
I thought he was the biggest wasted character, because I usually think he's one of the best characters.
Yeah, he kind of steals the movies, like, when he's in
that's why they had him in so many of those.
And Hiddleston's great, except for this movie, where he's just completely wasted. And this is, like I said, this is a movie that I so wanted to like. I just loved everything going into it.
Yeah.
And then I was just, this might be the first Marvel Cinematic Universe that I was really disappointed.
I was definitely disappointed. I really didn't think much of Ant-Man, but I really didn't expect much either.
Right. It was just, in Ant-Man for me, it was just that one middle part that went on way too long.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I just don't think it's particularly great.
No, me either. And like, I don't love the third Iron Man movie.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, where the Mandarin's kind of a waste.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
But it was still, there was enough good in it to, you know, counteract the bad. And this one, there wasn't enough good to counteract all the negative that I had.
Yeah, it was just, I'd say the action's good.
Yeah, and the look was really good.
Everything looks great.
Yeah.
The 3D is tremendous.
Oh, the 3D is, if you go see this movie, and I think you should go see it anyway, even though this is the weakest, for me, the weakest showing of a cinematic Marvel so far. It's still worth seeing. I
will say, I think people who like a lot of comedy, and if you're just looking for comedy and action,
then
you probably enjoy it more than
either
of us did.
Yeah, if you saw the first two Thors and you think, like, maybe they were a little too depressing, or
maybe too relying on mythology.
Yeah, then you might like it more than we did, because there's a lot of comedy in it.
Yeah, it's very similar, which I actually love the Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
Yep. But they had already set that tempo, and where this one, you know, for the first two movies, they already set more of this. Okay.
So not only does these people not fit in, I think, in that, also a lot of the comedy is pretty flat.
It is. Like, they should have had somebody either proofread or edit this one a little bit more. They shouldn't have just given them free reign to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Because some of the characters were changed a lot, and some of them, like Thor, is kind of permanently changed.
Yeah, definitely.
You know?
There's like I said, we mentioned a lot of character style. There's permanent changes to people.
Yep.
And you have so much of that in like a movie where everything seems like nothing's at stake.
Yeah, nothing seemed important in this entire movie.
It's just like a big joke. So it's a very uneven movie.
Even being Ragnarok, and they talk about that, and it's the end of days, and, you know, Asgard's going to come to an end, and, you know,
Well, even right at the beginning, Surtur's like made to be a goof.
Yeah.
He's like, you know, like everybody's a goof in the movie. Anytime anyone's like trying to be taken seriously, it's just like you're the butt of the joke and you're dumb.
Yep. Yeah, it had almost like a Beavis and Butthead feel to some of the stuff.
Which I just didn't think.
Which it shouldn't. Yeah.
And I think it's the worst post-credit thing I've ever seen in a Marvel movie.
Oh yeah.
Very bad.
The first post-credit thing.
Yeah, where it's like
is pretty good.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then the second one, and you're waiting, and it seemed like an awful. And I think also, as you're watching the credits, and normally you have like a good Foo Fighters song going on, or you know, something you can kind of get into. This one has this like 80 synth thing going on, and it's really annoying.
It makes
the credits feel like they're 2 hours long.
Yeah, it's a very trendy thing. Like I said, it's like an Astron 6 stuff, which I actually really love Astron 6, but Turbo Kid, Stranger Things.
Yeah, but even the colors and the crazy like flash it up there, kind of
which I normally kind of like, but I think it's definitely been starting to get to the point where it's being overdone and everything. In this one, I just don't even see the point. Like, why is it done in here besides it being like a popular thing?
Yeah, just because it is trendy and popular. That's really the only reason.
See, it was can't say it was a thrill.
No, I was disappointed. My first time Marvel Cinematic movie disappointed me. I may go see it again, and maybe I'll like it the second time more, because this time my expectations were really high, and it definitely didn't live up to them.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say. And it's no fault of, like, you know, Chris Hemsworth or Hiddleston. It's just that the material that they gave him really wasn't that strong.
I think the only bad performance is probably Goldblum.
Yeah, Goldblum, there's nothing good to say about him in this movie. He just he nailed it in, and he sucked.
Yeah, I think he just showed up, and they're like, just be yourself. It'll be funny that Jeff Goldblum's running this.
What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, just tell him to, you know,
maybe if you didn't have like all the other goofball stuff in it, like it would be funny that Jeff Goldblum's running this.
You know, maybe if everybody else played it seriously.
Yeah, then you had that one thing.
And everybody would be like, "Whoa, what's up with the leader of this place?" But no, he's just a little bit dumber than the rest of them.
Yeah, it's just this is a bunch of goofs.
Yeah.
So I'll rate this one first. I might even dislike the one more trade. I really, it wasn't a movie for me. I'm gonna give it 2.
You know, I was really debating whether to give it 2 or 3. But if I'm gonna be honest and not, you know, the build-up and how excited I was about it, it was such a disappointment. I'm going with a 2 as well. Which is tough for me to say, because I love me some Thor. And even the stuff, well, one thing I did forget, there's the little bit with Doctor Strange that you see in the end credits of Doctor Strange. And that's pretty much all you see. They stop by Strange, he's like, "Hey, how you doing? Hey, don't forget your hat and your coat. We'll see you all later. Bye-bye now." And that's it.
And real quick, too, talk about Loki and Thor. In the other movies, when Loki betrays Thor, it's a betrayal. You feel bad for Thor, but you also understand Loki, where he's coming from.
Oh yeah, because he's been shadowed by Odin,
which builds drama.
Yeah.
Like this one is, I don't know. He must have turned on 3 or 4 times throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, it gets a little bit and for nothing.
Yeah, for no
like, hey, I'm gonna get some money out of this.
Yeah, none of the times do you feel like, well, you know, I can see why he did this. It's just
why? Yeah, because in the first one he kind of wants to prove that he can do it.
Yeah,
you know, because his dad has no faith in.
It's more like he's just doing it because they want that in the movie.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you're an asshole. Okay, I'll be an asshole then.
Yeah, it's definitely the worst written Loki's ever been in anything.
Yeah, I'm afraid so. And they all deserve better, especially poor like Kate Blanchett and her character, because like.
Yeah,
that
really
character was so good, and then like there was nothing really to work with. Even the scenes with her and Loki and Thor, they're still being the goofball jackasses that they are in this entire movie.
Yeah, the
and she's all serious and cool, and she's a killer. I mean, she's like totally.
Yeah, it's just so strange because there's a lot of like stuff that should be very serious in the movie, but then the whole tone is just so goofy.
Yeah, when she shows up, like she wipes out the entire fighting force.
And there's a lot of killing in this movie.
There's a ton of killing.
I don't think there is in the other ones. Maybe there are, but I can't remember.
Not like this.
There's a lot of like impalements and people getting killed.
And there's no, nobody stomps and like, oh my God, this is horrible. Like, what a terrible thing, and like this is such an evil person. And it's just kind of like, I better think up a funny, witty one-liner to say because they just wiped out 400 fighting people. That's cool. Yeah. Huge disappointment.
Yeah, for sure. So we're gonna wrap this up. But don't forget, every Thursday night, go over and listen to us live at withoutyourhead.com. It's a live horror radio show. Have all kinds of cool horror movie guests. And if you're not around for live Thursdays, you go and listen to the podcast anytime. There's 12 years of free archives there.
That's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm. And here, subscribe to the YouTube page.
Yep.
Leave some comments for us.
Absolutely. We love some comments.
Find us on Facebook.
Find us on Facebook. And our newest member of the gang, Mama Creepy, she's on the Thursday night show with us on Without Your Head. Show her some loving, give her the big support, the big thumbs up.
Exactly. Just notice I think there's shadow in my eyes the whole time. We have to redo this video.
We can do that. Now I'm gonna give the movie four headless corpses.
So this is Nasty Neal.
This is Terrible Troy.
And this is Without Your Head.
When the world has got you down, I am the clown that wipes your tears away. Come with me to a place that's free and believe me when I say they all float down here. 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 I am the eternal child, and I will defile the innocence of you. When the deadlights come, you can join me here, and you will know the truth. They all float down here. They all float down here. They all float down here. They all float. They all float.
This is Nasty Neal. He's dying. Coffee McGee.
Just had to get that out of my
Alright,
system.
let's go in at the end.
Yep.
It's going to be the bonus feature, which is better than the one we saw.
Yeah, hey.
Tell me when you're ready.